No, please, don't let me stop the festivities. By all means, keep going. Keep turning Daytona Beach into a godforsaken graveyard of dignity. I mean, why bother with self-respect when you can have a viral clip of yourself acting like a feral animal for 15 seconds of clout that won't even pay for your bail? Is this really the best we can do? Is this the absolute peak of the culture? Standing in the middle of a street screaming at the top of your lungs while the world watches you prove every single ugly stereotype right. Honestly, I'm impressed. It takes a special kind of dedication to be this consistently disappointing. You've managed to take the concept of a vacation and turn it into a masterclass in social decay. People are exhausted because they're tired of defending a demographic that seems hell-bent on its own destruction. Why would anyone want to invest in a community that treats its own environment like a literal dumpster?
The first week of spring break in Daytona Beach brought another huge, unapproved party on the shore. People ran from what they thought were gunshots. The noise turned out to be from busted water bottles. The weekend ended with over 80 arrests for open containers, underage drinking, marijuana, and in some cases, illegal guns.
We arrested people from Alabama, from Georgia, from North Carolina, from South Carolina, from Florida. You name it, everybody was here. Hopefully the city will get in line with me, and we're going to declare that special event zone so then I could double that number with Daytona Beach, and we could really crack down.
Along with the heavier presence, he says the special event zone would bring stiffer penalties for broken rules. Mayor of Daytona Beach made a post on Facebook saying the youth invasion was unacceptable. He went on to say, quote, "It has been stated that it was requested by the sheriff that the area be designated as a special event district as a result of the planned takeover. I was not informed of any request to designate the area as a special district and would have been first in line to support the request." In addition to that, there were a total of 4 shootings in the area on Saturday alone. 3 people were hit, 2 teens and a 59-year-old man. No suspects have been named and no arrests have been made yet.
We know that spring break travel period is about 46 days, so we expect more people to come to our beaches. The Volusia County Sheriff, Mike Chitwood, wants people to know that his department doesn't mess around, so stay safe, follow the rules, and behave yourself when on our beaches.
You move from Miami because they kicked your ass out. You move from Fort Lauderdale because they're tired of your shit. And now you've brought your circus to Daytona. Where's next? Are you just going to keep migrating until every coastal city in the country looks like a war zone? And let's talk about that genius with the grenade in his book bag. Really? That's the flex? We're bragging about high-grade explosives and illegal firearms in the middle of a crowd of our own people? What the fuck is wrong with your head?
Whether you're on the beach or on the streets, you can't miss them.
It's a very high police presence. There's a lot of cops out here.
The Daytona Beach Police Department and Volusia Sheriff's Office have increased their patrols this weekend to prevent the violence and chaos we saw last weekend.
Very hectic, kind of scary.
Kim Barrett works at Michael's on the beach on the boardwalk. She says the crowds were out of control.
We're trying to have a good time and we can't because there's fighting on the beach, there's drinking, there's drugging, there's everything but a good time. I feel bad for the spring breakers that want to come down and enjoy themselves.
Do you honestly think that makes you look tough? It makes you look like a walking liability, a pathetic statistic waiting to happen. You're recording yourself committing felonies and then wondering why the system is out to get you. The system doesn't have to do a damn thing when you're out here doing the heavy lifting for them. You're handing them the handcuffs and the key, all while making sure the lighting is good for the gram. Tell me, does it feel good to be the reason a business owner closes their doors? Does it make you feel powerful to watch a white girl who's just trying to work a shift look at you with pure, unadulterated disgust because you don't know how to act like a civilized human being? You're not rebelling against anything. You're just being a nuisance. You're the reason people cross the street. You're the reason insurance premiums go up. You're the reason the word community is starting to sound like a joke. Is this the freedom our ancestors bled for? So you could have the right to throw trash on a beach and act like you've never seen a trash can or a book in your entire life? It's embarrassing. It's low-tier, bottom-of-the-barrel behavior, and yet you wear it like a badge of honor. You think you're keeping it real, but the only thing you're keeping real is the poverty cycle and the funeral industry. So go ahead, keep screaming, keep fighting over nothing, keep proving that you have zero control over your impulses. Why try to be better when it's so much easier to be trash? Why aim for the stars when you're perfectly comfortable rolling around in the mud?
Spring break story time how the girl we came with stole our stuff, called the cops on us, and then left us in Daytona. Okay, y'all, so backstory. It was 5 of us on this trip. 4 females and the girl boyfriend. The girl who stole our stuff, I'm going to call her Bum. And then the friend, I'm going to call her Friend. Okay, so how the whole thing started is pretty much because Bum texted my homegirl, pretty much inviting her to come on the trip, and whoever else she was bringing could come with her. I don't know this girl, but my homegirl knew her since 6th grade. And we supposed to have went with her 2 years ago to PCB. So it was like, okay, like, I supposed to already went with her, like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So we ended up making a group chat, and we was trying to get the B&B the day we made the group chat, but Bum didn't have the money, so all the B&Bs that was like closer to Daytona Beach, we could not get them because Bum didn't have the money in time, and they would get took fast. So by the time we did get a B&B, because Bum, we ended up getting one all the way in Palm Coast, 40 minutes from all events. Like, we was far from everything. So that was the purpose of us paying for a rental car that we all split, okay? We all paid equally the same amount for everything. Nobody paid more than the next person. Okay, so Bum, we get in the car with Bum. Friend didn't want to be around Bum. She's smart. She rode with her boyfriend. So they rode in separate cars. It was just me, Bum, and my homegirl in one car riding to Daytona. Backstory, Bum lived all the way in Albany. When we first made the chat, she said her mom could come get us and bring us to Albany so we could all ride to Daytona. But Bum, after we paid our money, Bum ended up switching it up like, oh no, we're getting a car in Albany and my mom can't take y'all no more. So it was like, okay, since we got the rental together, can you come get us from Atlanta, which is a 2-hour drive to Albany? Can you come get us? At least we all paid for the rental. So Bum ordered her clothes to Daytona because she got them so late, and she ordered them to the B&B, but the B&B person ended up rejecting them or something, and they sent them back to a post office, which was 40 minutes away from our B&B. So Bum literally was, the point of her not getting us was that she had to be in Albany by 4 o'clock to get her shit from the post office. So you tried to have us ride a bus. I had a lot of cash on me, so I didn't want to ride the bus. And I paid for a rental car, so I didn't have to ride the bus. You feel me? For 5 hours, get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to ride a bus to Albany when I bought a rental car is crazy work. Y'all, we even offered her to take us to just Perry. Like, we was going to go to Perry, meet her in Perry, and she would just have to drive an hour to come get us instead of 2. But she still denied that, claiming that she had her clothes all the way in Daytona and that it would push her back. And I'm finna start screenshots of her bitching about that right now. As y'all can see, me and my homegirl checked her pretty much about it. And when she said, this is the thing that really threw me off and I knew I was not going to like her, when she said, it's in my name. Girl, it could have went in anybody's name. You offered to put it in your name. When we booked the B&B, I said I would put it in my name. You wanted it in your name so bad, and now I know why you wanted it in your name. So you can sit up there and say what happens and what. We all pay the same amount of money. I don't give a fuck who name it's in. I really don't give a fuck. It could have went in anybody's name. Mine, my homegirls, it didn't matter. You wanted it in your name so that you could have an excuse. That's all. Because if it wasn't in your name and you was saying all this shit, no one would have even turned the eye to you to give a fuck. You knew what you was doing. But regardless of the fact, I don't give a fuck who name it's in. I paid for the rental just like you. You could come get us an hour. The fuck? But you smart for that. I'll give you that. But, mind y'all, we get to Albany. We end up paying. I found us a way to Albany. Why we get there and we just now realizing that the friend's boyfriend coming, we thought it was 5 girls. We didn't know nobody man was coming. That was news to us. We didn't care though. We already paid. There's nothing we could do now. Oh well, we on the way to Albany. So we on the way to Albany, and we had to pee and like eat. Obviously, it's a little 4 hour drive, y'all. She would get mad at us for having to eat and piss. Like, how are you mad? We have to pee and eat. Like, we're human. Like, what's so we get to Daytona or whatever, and when we arrived to Daytona, no, before we arrived to Daytona, the bitch was trying to tell us what rooms we get in, this, that, and third. We did not discuss none of that. She, I guess her friend discussed it behind our backs and then just told us. And me and my homegirl mad. Well, I'm more madder than her because I don't know who you're feeling like. And I just texted my homegirl before I went off on her friend because I didn't want to go off on her friend. You know, this is her friend. So I was giving her the chance to go off on her friend before I did. But she didn't want to. So I'm finna insert screenshots of me texting my friend telling her what I was finna do before I went off on the girl. Okay, y'all. Watch part 2 for the rest.
Very big and important things.
Sydney Rivers and her friends worry the negative headlines are giving everyone a bad name.
I will say I don't think all this violence is correct. I think that is very, 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 very backwards and wrong. But those things should not represent the entire community and everybody that's coming down here.
And don't even get me started on the queens out there. Please, tell me more about how being a strong, independent woman involves acting like a goddamn banshee in a parking lot. Is that the empowerment we're talking about now? The power to be so incredibly toxic that a white girl working a minimum wage shift looks at you and sees a walking disaster instead of a human being. Bravo, truly. You've reached a level of bad bitch energy that is literally repellent. Why bother with grace or mystery when you can just be loud, wrong, and covered in cheap glitter? Keep it up. Keep making sure that every time a group of us walks into a restaurant, the staff collectively holds their breath and prays they don't get stuck with your table. It's a fantastic way to ensure that integration stays a pipe dream. Why would any sane business owner want to invite this level of chaos into their establishment? You're not supporting black business when you're out here destroying the property value of every zip code you touch. You're economic suicide in a pair of Fashion Nova leggings. Where are the parents? Oh, right, probably at home manifesting their best life while their offspring are out here manifesting a 5 to 10 year sentence. Is this the legacy you want to leave? A trail of trash, a handful of viral fights, and a reputation so stained that black fatigue isn't just a headline, it's a national mood. Why even try to be the exception? It's so much more comfortable to be the rule, isn't it? It's easier to scream racism than it is to look in a mirror and realize that you are the common denominator in every single one of these train wrecks. Why would you want to be like the people in Newport Beach or Biloxi? Peace is boring, right? Respect is for sellouts, isn't it? So by all means, keep dancing on the hoods of cars, keep carrying grenades in your backpacks like it's some kind of twisted accessory. Keep proving that you have no regard for the life you were given or the space you occupy. The world is moving on, and frankly, it's tired of waiting for you to catch up. Why join the civilized world when you can just keep burning down the one you're in? Stay in the mud. It suits you. Why reach for anything higher when you've already mastered the art of being absolute garbage?